Hey everybody, Timothy back. We are here for another Dominaria Draft. Fantastic set. Got to start every video by saying that. My voice might be a little bit wonky because I got sick last week and I also went to a concert this weekend, so those two things combined together do not make for a very good voice, but should be enough to get us through this video. If it's so bad, let me know. Hello, History of Benalia. I do want to say thanks to all the new subscribers. I finally hit 200 subscribers on the channel, so thanks to everybody who supports the channel and just leaves comments and likes and all that, even though I horribly misplay pretty much every video I record. There's no way we're not taking History of Benalia. This card is pretty incredible, and I think it's worth some tickets too, so probably just sell it off towards another draft. Plus, the rest of the pack isn't that exciting. I am kind of intrigued by this red-white deck. I don't know how often it comes together, the Aura equipment deck, but this is the type of card I like building around in draft. But we're going to take I guess this is a bomb rare? It certainly feels like a bomb. It does make me want to prioritize knights, but not so much that I need to start taking like second pick Cabal Paladins or anything like that. I'm still going to take what I think is the best card for right now, but I am going to lean towards white. And I guess white combines with pretty much everything. I think if I look back at the videos I've recorded for this channel, they've all been some combination of white. Like here, this pack's interesting. Like Fungal Plots is actually a pretty decent card. Academy Journey Mage is a nice one. Keldon Overseer. And then Cabal Paladin is a knight, but I don't think this card is very good. As for white cards, there's only Sarah Disciple, and I just don't care for this card. Some people like this, and I don't know why. Even if you're constantly triggering it, it's not that good. It's certainly a card that you can try to wheel. Overseer does kind of work with the history here, but I think I'm going to take Academy Journey Mage. I just really like the tempo-based decks, and if I don't end up blue, whatever, right? Ooh, this would have been pretty good with Fungal Plots. This pack is more like it. So what do we want to take here? I'm not going to take Isolated Chapel, even though white-black is probably the most direct route for us here. I could take the Surveyor, which is just a good card to pick up at any point during the draft, or I could take the Spore Crown Thallid and try to go like white-green, what's it called? White-green go wide type of deck. Prioritize Saprolings, prioritize Token Makers, and then look for the payoffs. I do think this card is worth picking up early and building around it a little bit. And this only gives Knights +2/+1. It does fit kind of in the same sorts of decks. Black-green is really the Saproling colors, but the payoffs for being Saprolings or the real Saproling makers are mostly all green. It's either that or the Surveyor, and I think I'm going to spec on this Spore Crown Thallid, which really makes me wish I had taken Fungal Plots, but it's whatever. Ooh. I like this card, but I don't think it's actually that playable and limited. I think my pick's going to be between the Dauntless Bodyguard, which goes really well with the History of Benalia, or Grow from the Ashes, which is a very good ramp or mana fixing card. I do like Blood Tallow Candle quite a bit, but it's going to be between these two, and I think it's probably going to be the Bodyguard here. Not only is it a knight, but if we end up being a low curve aggressive deck, this is something that can come out on turn 1. And I've mentioned it before. I played it in the last blue-white deck that I drafted, but this can just protect your finisher. It makes it so that your opponent often has to have 2 removal spells to deal with whatever big threat you have. But the fact that it goes really well with the History of Benalia, I think, is what's pushing me towards taking that here. Does this make knights? This makes soldiers and is not a knight itself. No green cards I want to pick up here since Guy's Protector is kind of whatever. I could pick up a Candle or I could pick up Sergeant at Arms, and I think it's probably just going to be Sergeant at Arms. This is a fine 3-drop. Otherwise, it'd be like Divination or, I don't know, Partic Wanderer. Probably just the Candle. Yeah, I kind of like Sergeant at Arms. This is fine. Again, there aren't too many payoffs for going wide in this set, but if you can get them... Ooh, there's one of them, actually. This is pretty good payoff for going wide. I like Garna, but it's 2 colors that I'm not. And I don't mind Joustin' Lance. I don't mind Invoke the Divine. I really don't like Primordial Worm. Just no evasion on a creature this big does not stack up well against some of the other more powerful things people are doing in this set. Keldon Warcaller is interesting with History of Benalia, but I don't think this card's very good. The 2-drops that have just super situational effects don't seem that great. There's like this, Corrosive Ooze, the Goblin that gets +1/+1 and Menace when you kick something. They're just not that great. This card's fantastic, though. It's pretty decent on its own, and when you kick it, it's very good. Ooh, options here. So, having picked up Wild Onslaught, I think my deck wants Sergeant at Arms more, but there's also Grow from the Ashes, which is a card I like very, very much. It gets us to our expensive stuff, make sure we can kick most of our spells. The Evident Trapper, currently I only have one way to trigger that, even though this is a fine card, and there's also a Cloud Reader Sphinx, which is very good. My deck probably wants this Sergeant at Arms more, considering that I picked up the Thallid, but I really like having at least one Grow from the Ashes. And here, I think I'm going to pick up the Trapper now. Yeah, this is the one I was talking about. G2 Lava Runner is pretty bad, too. Even if you get the 2 instants or sorceries, it's kind of whatever at that point. I think the earliest you can do that really is turn 2, and you have to have 2, like, expendable instants or sorceries that cost 1 mana in order to do it. Anytime after turn 2, this card drops off. I'm going to go and take, let's go and just take the Trapper here. And follow up with probably the Memorial. Could be Gift of Growth. This is a decent combat trick. I think it's pretty good, but I like having the Memorials. And Heal and Grace is fine, I guess, but I don't think this card ever makes the cut, really, so I'll go and pick up the Memorial. Wheel of Slinvoda. I really like Slinvoda, but it's not actually that good. It's just so expensive. I don't want anything from this pack, to be honest, so I'm just going to pick up the colorless card. That is not what I meant to cut. All right, there's a Gift of Growth. Again, I do like having Gift of Growth. I think it's a strong combat trick. And not much here. I'm just going to go and put that in the sideboard. All right, so our colors seem reasonably open there. Not super open, but reasonable. And Primordial Worm could make the cut. I think this is a pretty good start. We've got a little bit of a game plan going on. We already have one payoff for being in the colors that we're in. Oh, wow. Okay, so here's a pick. Do we pick Gilded Lotus, which in a low curve aggressive deck could end up not being that great? Or do we pick up Llanowar Elves, which is always going to be great, always going to be playable? This is actually a tough pick. Let me just say real quick that I don't think Gilded Lotus goes in every deck. It's really good in control decks where you have a lot of kicker cards that you want to see in the late game, but it doesn't really go in this sort of deck where if I cut Primordial Worm, look what I have, like a bunch of things that curve out at 4 so far. I think, I don't know for sure that this is right, but I think I'm actually going to pick up Llanowar Elves over Gilded Lotus here, which kind of seems wrong because they both kind of function the same. But having what I have right now, even with Grow from the Ashes, I don't think I need Gilded Lotus in this sort of deck. I'm going to be looking for low curve stuff. I have one card that's really going to cost enough mana that it could justify Gilded Lotus, and I already have Grow from the Ashes, plus Llanowar Elves is very similar, right? Oh, this pack has a lot of stuff for us. Torgar is nice, which would be a lot better if I had picked up Gilded Lotus, because this does work in a deck that creates a lot of tokens. There is Fungal Plots, which is nice. It basically, every 2 creatures that dies, you get to turn it into some sort of card draw or some bodies on the board. It does work nice with the Spore Crown Thallid. There's also Yavimaya Sapherd and Onsera's Wings. Onsera's Wings is a very good card, but probably a little weaker in this sort of deck, where you're going to have generally smaller creatures, I think. I'm going to wheel something, right? If I wheel Sapherd, Memorial, Onsera's Wings, Sergeant at Arms, maybe even Broken Bond, I'll be fine. Someone's going to take Torgar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to get something back from this pack. Yeah, I'm going to take Fungal Plots, though. I think it has the most upside. Ooh, wow. Wow, we really got to make a decision here because Sarah Angel is fantastic, but Shauna is exactly what this deck is looking for, too. There's a chance I wheel Shauna, but from what I've noticed in my drafts, this card doesn't actually wheel. I think people are pretty high on Shauna, and for good reason. Um, I don't know about this pick. Which one's better? Sarah Angel is very strong, but Shauna might just be what I want here. I mean, I'm drafting a go wide deck, right? Shauna is the green white staple card for that. Right now, I have one, two, three ways to make multiple bodies on board. I think Shauna is what I want for this deck. Another on Sarah's Wings? You got to be kidding me. Again, I don't think this is quite what the deck wants, even though it's very good with Shauna if you can build out a board. I think I want Saproling Migration. Again, these sap cards work very well with a couple things that I've got going on here. Saproling Migration is just good anyway. Sorcery Speed, Raise the Alarm, and sometimes you get 4 tokens out of it, which if you have this Spore Crown Thallid out, you're putting 8 power and 8 toughness on board. I don't actually mind Short Sword in these decks either. They're a good way to make sure that some of your 1/1s can still get in there past some of the 2/2s. And I haven't really tried out Shield of the Realm, but I've had it be pretty decent against me a couple times. I'm going to take Saproling Migration. All right, hits keep coming. I do think our colors are fairly open. I like the Memorial, but this might just be another Dauntless Bodyguard over another Sergeant at Arms. It's also a Mesa Unicorn, which is fine, but really I think the Bodyguard's better than the Unicorn anyway. And I might wheel one of these white creatures if white is that open, even though the rest of the pack, I don't know. Probably going to get like, there are what, 10 cards here? Rescue and Radiate and Lightning are the worst cards in the pack, so maybe I won't get one back. All right, so Charge is something that works well in my deck. There's also Memorial to Glory, which is fine. This card is actually not insane in my deck because I'm probably going to play a low land count. And there's also Sarah's Disciple, which I still think sucks. I think my deck wants Charge. You can kind of get these late, though. And it's not really a huge upside to playing this sort of deck. Like, it doesn't give you that significant of a bump. It's probably likely I get the other white Memorial back anyway. Yeah, I think I'm going to take Charge here. If any deck wants Charge, it's what I'm drafting now. Probably pick up the 2-drop at this point. Over Voltaic Servant, which doesn't do much of anything for us. This is probably better than the Voltaic Servant. Although one reason to pick up the Servant is that it triggers the Trapper. I think I'm going to pick up a Candle here. That's one thing I'm missing is I don't have removal spells at the moment. I have a pretty solid deck going on, but I need some sort of removal to make it function or be able to get around my opponent's big creature. So I'm going to go and pick up the Candle here. I like having a Candle. I don't really care about much of what's going on. Nature Spiral. Some people really hate this card. I actually think it's pretty decent, especially with something like, what is it called? History of Benalia. I think it could be quite good. And I don't think I want that many 2-drops. So I'm going to take this, probably not play it, but it is good with what I got. We did get the Memorial back out of all those options, which is what we expected. And I wouldn't actually mind the Glider here in this pack. Ooh, Adamant Will's a nice one. I think I might have blanked on this one, but this is a very good combat trick, and if I'm not going to have a lot of removal, then using these combat tricks to kind of function as removal can be pretty nice, and Adamant Will is a good one. All right, nothing here. I'm going to take the lifelinky thing. Hey, we called it Radiant and Lighten and Rescue. Lightning's pretty good against us. I guess the first Eruption's also good. Hey, look, a last pick rare. Must not be that great. Pretty good against us, though. Kills all of our 1/1s. I like where our deck's at right now. So we're looking for, oh wow, this would actually be pretty great in our deck, but it's double black. I still think taking Llanowar Elves over Gilded Lotus was probably right, considering where we're at with our curve. Honestly, having a 5-drop Gilded Lotus, it means you have access to a lot more mana. You can do more things in your turn, but I like that better when you have a lot of card draw and stuff like that. There's an Eviscerate here, Gideon's Reproach, and Sap Herd. Again, I don't have a lot of removal, but I think I'm going to take the Sap Herd because this card does work so well in our deck. Not only is it a fungus, which works with Spore Crown Thallid, but it creates a Saproling. It also just works with Shauna, works with Charge, works with a lot of stuff, the Wild Onslaught. I would like to pick up maybe one more of these, but we're really prioritizing removal, although I think Gideon's Reproach is the type of removal we can pass up on. Ancient Animus is removal, not great for our deck. Damping Sphere is pretty bad. What do I want? Do I want an Aven Sentry here? Maybe. Do I want a 3/1? Maybe. It is a knight, I guess. It's not a very good knight. I think I'm going to take Ancient Animus, which is not going to be great in our deck. A lot of times it's going to 2-for-1 ourselves. And the only legendary I have is Shauna. It's not going to wheel. I do need some sort of removal. Yeah, I think maybe I just need more creatures in this deck, perhaps. Maybe an evasive creature is exactly what I want here. Yeah, I just don't think Ancient Animus is quite the removal we're looking for. Oh my god, that's a Tatiova. That is a Tatiova. That's like a third pick Tatiova too. There's also a Blink of an Eye. I'm tempted to just take this because I have Grow from the Ashes, and it is that good of a card. It is very, very good. Daring the Archaeologist would be just okay in our deck. The only artifact it could get back is Blood Tallow Candle, and it's not going to be a 4/4 majority of the time. If I can pick up one Skitter and Surveyor in this pack, I feel pretty happy about the Benthic Druid. And I'm not passing up on too much. Another Sergeant at Arms, but this card is insanely good. Ooh, Territorial Allosaurus. See, now it's looking like maybe I would want the Gilded Lotus, but at the time, not so much. Because Allosaurus is pretty decent. As a 4-mana 5/5, if nothing else, you draw it in the late game, you get to kick it and fight something. That's pretty good. Llanowar Elves, Sapherd. I'm assuming if there's another green drafter here, they're going to take the Elves, but that means there's a chance I get this Sapherd back, and there's nothing else I want in the pack. I'm not going to play Navigator's Compass in this deck. Follow the Thran. This is the Armageddon. Oh, there's a Grow from the Ashes. That's what I asked for, right? There's also Ataliz. That card's great. If I was still 2-color, not splashing this blue, I think I would take Zalford Void. I don't think Follow the Thran's very good, although it does work very nicely with Tatiova. It's just, it costs 6 mana, so it's not going to be that great, although we do have the type of deck where it could be decent. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take Grow from the Ashes here. Jaya's Immolating Inferno. We don't have enough legendaries to make that work, even though 2 Grow from the Ashes does make it very interesting. Probably going to take Short Sword here. Don't really care for Sorcerer's Wand in a non-wizard deck. What do I have? 2 legendaries? Yeah, this is just not an Inferno deck. I don't want the second charge. I'm not even super high on the first one, so I'll take Short Sword. Another Fungal Plots. This doesn't do anything in multiples, does it? No, it literally does nothing in multiples. I could take a Mammoth Spider. I am going to be a little bit weak to flyers, I think. So having a Mammoth Spider is not bad. Look how open red is, too. Yeah, I would normally take Fungal Plots here, but having 2 Fungal Plots doesn't do anything. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Spider. Arvad, huh? I'm not taking Arvad. Tragic Poet gets back History of Benalia, but if that's what I'm doing, I'd rather just take or play Nature Spiral. I'm probably going to take Partick Wanderer here over pretty much nothing. It's a lot of Guy's Blessings. So we just added a bunch of like 4, 5s, and 6s to our deck randomly. Guy's Blessing doesn't do anything really, so I guess I'll just take another Mammoth Spider, although I'm not starting 2 of those. 3/1? 3/1 seems decent. Adventurous Impulse. This does kind of dig for your colors, right? Although we do have a couple creature makers that are in the form of sorceries, so I don't think this is actually going to be that great. I'm just going to take the 3/1. Board the Weatherlight. Board the sideboard, am I right? Oh. Yeah, I don't care about any of these. Yeah, Zalford and Void. This could be decent. Probably not playing it now that I'm splashing blue, and I think I am going to splash blue. Guy's Protector could actually be decent in this token-based deck, too, where you build out a board, you force your opponent to block this thing, and then you get in with all your other creatures. But that needs a lot of very specific things to be going on for that to actually be that good. If we cut the 2 lands, we have 26 cards here. The big question now is, do I want to play 16 or 17? Because I could go cut, play 16 lands. I have a Land of War Elves. I have 2 Grow from the Ashes to help me hit land drops. Is there anything that I'm just super not excited to play about at all in our deck anyway? Kind of like the quality of our deck. I think it's pretty decent. I would play the Gilded Lotus here, I think, if I had it. Might even consider this Journey Mage. Yeah, I think... Let's see. I have a couple kicker cards now, too, so 17 lands wouldn't be that bad. And we have a couple ways to mitigate flooding with the Memorials, with Tatiova. So I don't think playing 17 lands would be terrible. We have basically nothing for removal. We have this Allosaurus and this Candle, which means we could be really weak to flyer decks where we'll bring in these spiders, I suppose. And do I want charge? Actually, I don't like charge that much. But I need to cut one more card if I'm planning on playing 17. Maybe 16's fine. Because if I cut it like this, I don't have to play the... Like, that's the flexibility of kicker is these could just be 4-drops. Tatiova is the only thing that requires a 5th mana in order to be castable. You know, let's play 16. And it looks like our colors are fairly even. Pretty much completely even. So I'm going to err on the side of saying I want more green than white because of the Land War Elves. Somebody's syncopating something. Gonna go and close that down so I stop getting these messages. Alright, so let's do this. Let's go. I just need 1 blue in the deck. Yeah, this looks right. It's kind of sketchy, given that I have 2 Dauntless Bodyguards. But I think Tatiova is worth the risk of making your mana a little bit worse. Bring in the Memorials. I like both of them in this deck. And I think we got a solid green-white deck. We missed out on removal. I would have really liked a blessed, what is it? The exile a creature or enchantment. But we didn't get one. And we passed up on the Gideon's Reproach and the Ancient Animus. So our removal is very light. It's this, and these are not reliable removal spells. But I think we should be able to at least stall the board with ground creatures. We're going to be weak to flyers. That's basically the thing here, is flyers are going to get us. So we'll just have to keep that in mind. But here's the deck, green-white. Every rendition of white so far in our videos for the channel. And hopefully Splash in the Blue doesn't make me look like an idiot. So thanks for watching. Thanks again for all of the support, all the love. Appreciate you all, and I'll see you in the matches. Hey everybody, Timothy here. Already getting punished for the mana choices, but we don't have the blue source in our deck anyway, or in our opening hand. I think this is a pretty decent opening hand. I can cast everything except for the bodyguard. And there is some merit to holding on to this candle until you have something that triggers off of it, like the Trapper, since there's no real reason to play it out early, but it's fine. It's fine to go ahead and put it on the board. We're probably going to play Saproling Migration first here, and then the Thallid next turn. That way I can attack for 4 on the following turn. And I kind of like that. We are going to want to hit some white sources here. Ooh, and if my opponent has nothing going on, just green, then that's fine. Alright, well now we definitely want to hit some white sources. Alright, Thallid's coming in. Get the beats on. I guess one thing I didn't really consider either is that History of Benalia is double white. Ooh. Opponent is also white-green. Alright, well, the Surveyor does mean I get to just jam with all of my creatures. Probably going to get a splash color here. Nope, just white. Alright, so Gift of Growth is the last castable card in my hand, which means this could go downhill now. Let's see if Surveyor's on chump duty or not. It is. Alright, white source off the top would be great. I can Gift of Growth past most things here. Ooh, Baird. That's actually pretty strong against my deck. It's annoyingly good against my deck. The Plains is right on time, though, so here, what are my options? I kind of want to attack, right? So I can attack with 2 creatures and then use Gift of Growth to get through if my opponent doesn't block. Or if my opponent blocks, I can use Gift of Growth to trade off for Baird. Rather, trade Gift of Growth for Baird, put my opponent at 10, and then that uses my entire turn. Or I could just play like Knight of New Benalia and pass the turn. I think I'm going to attack this turn, try to get Baird off the battlefield. And what that means is I've got to go attack with the 2 Saprolings. My opponent is actually pretty incentivized to block this thing. So I'll make it a juicy target. And if I just get in, then I get in, right? Alright, so they just say no blocks, which is great for me. Now I get to play another creature. And hopefully we just draw white mana. Like, more mana is good. Blood Tallow Candle's pretty decent against my opponent here. Green-white can start to point some big threats, which is why I really like green-white. You get this go-wide aspect, but you can also just play big creatures too. Alright. Well, that changes things a little bit. 4/4 is pretty nice. Short Sword. So I can play Short Sword, equip Short Sword to, say, the Knight, and still hold up Gift of Growth. Or I could play Short Sword, equip Short Sword, play Dauntless Bodyguard, name in the Knight. What happens if I attack with everything? I pay 4 mana, I get in 4 damage, put my opponent at 4, but they get to eat 2 of my creatures. I don't like that very much. Could also play the Trapper, play Short Sword, but not have enough mana to attack. And I'd rather save Short Sword for a turn where I can tap a creature down, which means I probably want to go Trapper pass. I like the idea of going Short Sword, equip, or even put it on a Saproling. Because if I can kill a creature next turn, I might be able to go for a big swing on the following turn. Could play Dauntless Bodyguard plus Short Sword plus Gift of Growth, but I can't attack that way. So maybe I go Bodyguard, name in Knight, play, or attack with Knight, and then Gift of Growth it. That's if Baird blocks it. If this thing blocks, then I can sack Bodyguard. I'm trading Bodyguard for Guardians of Koilos, which seems decent. It's kind of a tough turn here. Here, why don't we just go Bodyguard, come down. Probably name the Spore Crown Valid. No, it's got to be this thing. Yeah, we're going to choose Knight. Going to go and play Short Sword, despite having the tap here. Go ahead and equip here and attack into my opponent. They're probably going to put the Guardians in front of it, which I think is okay. Could even just trade that off. Not even lose my Bodyguard. And I will pay 1. Block, I assume. And the 3/1's just better than the 2/1 here, so I will make my guy indestructible. Bear did make this a little bit of a mess for me. It's very good against my deck. I'm going to just draw lands. Ooh, into a 6-drop now. Huh. All right. So I guess I can move short sword to a saproling and then attack with both of these. No, I'm 1 mana off from being able to do that plus Gift of Growth. If I attack with the Knight and they block with the Partick Wanderer, then I can't kick Gift of Growth, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. I still think I want to be trading things off here. Could also just play the Trapper. And again, if I attack with everything, they go block, block, take 4. That doesn't quite do it. So maybe I move short sword to a saproling, because I'd rather have the 3-1, I suppose. It can push past Baird. If I'm not going to be able to do everything anyway. Or you know what? Maybe they don't block, and then I get to play the Trapper here. Sure, let's go and attack with the Knight and just aim to trade Gift of Growth for their Partick Wanderer. And if they don't block, I get to, at the minimum, cast Gift of Growth. I am trading 2 for 1 on myself here. And then we'll go ahead and equip here. All right, it's starting to slip a little bit. Just not being able to swing out on my opponent and cast spells in the same turn is pretty bad. Ooh, that could be kind of scary. Whenever they cast a historic spell, which they have, but they're not going to be able to copy it, they get to make another copy of Self-Replicator. That's pretty strong. That's not a bad draw. I can't really attack into my opponent, though, right? Not without losing a Saproling here. So I think I'm just going to have to go Trapper Pass and hope that I can outrace this thing. If I attack with everything, they get to go block, block, take 2. Yeah, I don't think I'm winning this game here. Could have probably played a little bit differently. Baird is a very nice foil to my deck. I think if I had drawn lands, I'd be perfectly fine. But if they make another Self-Replicator here, and then next turn they get to just jam, like, I'm in a lot of trouble. Yep. At least it's something that can't block. This costs what, 2 mana? 1 mana. Yeah, and then next turn they're going to get to jam for 1,000,000 with Vigilance and Indestructible. Oh, plus something else? And enough to make another Self-Replicator? Alright, well this went downhill very, very quickly. And not having removal spells is so bad for us. Yeah, I think we would have been fine if we had hit mana on time, because we'd have the Candle, we'd have another body on board. As is, we'll see what our draw is and probably just concede this match here. Grow from the Ashes is okay. Yeah, this game's over. This game is super over. The fact that all these things are going to get +1/+1, Indestructible, and Trample, game is super over. Well, like I said, not having removal is going to be the death of us here, right? Arctic Wanderer seems okay, but we didn't hit lands there. So I think I'm just going to run this back. I'm not seeing a lot of stuff that's very good against them. Protector is fine against Baird. Not super great. I guess this trades with some of their 4 toughness guys. It's just not that great overall. Nah. Nah, we're not going to bring it in. I will play first and see what we've got here. So, Thallid, Fungal Plots, Grow from the Ashes. I think this is fine. We don't have a lot of early pressure, though, which is kind of annoying against an opponent who's going to have a bunch of big creatures later in the game. Kind of like the opponent's deck, though. Self-Replicator is a nice one. They are going down to 6, however. And they are mulling to the top. All right, so pass. Play the Thallid. Oh, they have a Spartan Construct. Alright, well this card's not super great. That's probably in their deck to just make the payoff for whatchamacallit a little bit better. Self-Replicator. But if they're going to play a card like this to make that happen, I think that's fine, because Spartan Construct is not very good. If they attack, I'm not blocking. Another Spartan Construct. Alright, well, that's something, I suppose. Oh, Allosaurus is nice. That does make me want to hold on to this Grow from the Ashes until I can kick it. Or I could just play it next turn as a 5/5. Here I'm going to play Fungal Plots. What happens if I play Grow from the Ashes here? Nah, I'm going to hold on to that. I could trade Spore Crown Thallid for 2 of these things and then turn it into some guys later on. Just getting these off board actually seems not that bad against a person who's playing Song of Freyalise. So if they want to trade 2 for 1 here, I think I'm actually okay with that. Yeah, I didn't think so. Probably going to get hit back here, but that's fine. Alright, so just straight up nothing happened that turn. Hold off on Grow from the Ashes for 1 more turn here. Ooh, actually, Fungal Plots is a pretty nice combo with Dauntless Bodyguard. I'm going to play Aven Sentry this turn. I'm going to make the same attack, and if they're missing land drops, they're probably going to go for the block this time. Don't know that for sure, but... or not. I assume they're on a handful of green. Alright, well that's pretty good. I think it is time to go for Grow from the Ashes, just so that I'm hitting my land drops. I'm probably just going to play this thing right now, actually. My opponent's got nothing they can do about it at the moment, and it pressures pretty significantly. Or I could just not show them that. Play Grow from the Ashes, play Dauntless Bodyguard. Nah, let's just play out the big boy. Probably should have done that last turn, but it is very nice with Kicker. Alright, opponent hit a 3rd white source. And Surveyor is going to hit them another land, so they're going to get their green mana. Alright, so I can actually kick this right now. And go get a white and a green source. Since they come in untapped, that lets me play either of these. And now I'm not going to attack with this Thallid, because I don't want to trade it for just a Skittern Surveyor. I assume Spartan Construct's going to jump in front of the Allosaurus. No, they just took it. Well, if I knew they were going to do that, I would have held up Gift of Growth and just killed him there. Shauna is not going to be enough here. I actually have a Lethal Flyer on board, so I don't think there's any card that stops them from dying here. Heal and Salve doesn't do it. Yeah. Alright, so opponent got a little bit unlucky there. I'm not in love with a lot of our sideboard options here, so I think I'm just going to run it back with what I have and hope that we can outpace the opponent. They've got some good cards against us. But they're also playing some really bad cards in the form of those, whatchamacallits, the Sparring Constructs, just to make their Replicator work, I suppose. Which I'm not super into that plan. This hand is okay. It does seem like this Allosaurus is going to be very good against our opponent. Didn't seem like they had a lot of removal themselves. But unfortunately, we're not adding to the board too early here. Any 2-drop would be nice. I have a decent amount in our deck. Ooh, this is a scary card. Are we going to get kicked on here? Into Baird. Alright, well, there goes my plan, hey? So, which is better to get down? Probably just the Sap Herd, I assume. Alright, a Grow from the Ashes would be pretty good here. Alright, you have Vigilance, don't you? Ooh, into a 5-drop? Oh, Mammoth Spider. Alright, opponent is curving out on us pretty hard here. I think I'm going to go ahead and drop the Allosaurus here. And hope my opponent can't deal with that. And then if I get to untap with it, I get to hold up Adamant Will, which is pretty nice. Alright, the Glider. Well, that's going to be a way to get in there. And Shauna. Jeez. Alright, opponent's hand worked out very nicely for them. Oh, that's a Grow from the Ashes. So what I can do here is, if I kick Grow from the Ashes, then I can hold up Adamant Will. I can go get blue plus something else, but I would require to play this land out. That doesn't mean I can play Tatiova next turn. If I just play it and I get a blue source, then I can still hold up Adamant Will and next turn play Tatiova plus a land, which is pretty good. So I think I'm actually not going to kick this, although I do want more mana against Baird, so it's probably right to just kick it here, hold up Adamant Will, have access to more mana here. I'm in a little bit of trouble here because of this Glider, so they've got pressure on us, but having this plus Adamant Will makes it pretty good against something like Shauna here. Charge isn't bad either. No, it's fine. You know what? I'm actually not going to kick it. I'm just going to go get a blue source. And then I'm just going to pass the turn here. Apparently it's time to wake up. Alright, here comes Surveyor. That means Shauna's a 6/6 now. See whether they want to attack with it or not. Probably not. Oh, they didn't even attack with their Glider, though. Alright, so now we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Play Benthic Druid, play Forest, trigger, and we can afford to chump this or take a hit off of it. But getting this down is a pretty good game. And then we have Candle going as well, so we're going to be able to candle something. Alright, do work. Even if this just draws me more lands, that's pretty good. And I guess I should have considered what I could have drawn there. No, it would have had to be a green card anyway. Alright, I'm going to play the Candle. And I'm just going to pass the turn. If they attack with Shauna, I'm going to go ahead and just chump with this Sap Herd, I think. Yep. They went straight to combat there. Not even playing the Forest in their hand. Alright, so we're still not in a great position to be just attacking, and we've got a million white cards in our hand. So what I could do is just hold up the Candle and pass. Or I could just play another body on the board. Would really need another white source here to make this very good. I'm not in a position to be attacking them. I don't really want to use the Candle on an Ether Glider if I can avoid it. I might not be able to avoid that, though. And if I'm playing a white card, I probably want to play my most expensive card here. So let's go Trapper and pass. Another Grow from the Ashes would be fantastic here. No attack with the Glider. What are you doing, opponent? Llanowar War Elves is fine, I suppose. Doesn't mean I can play two things this turn. Or I could still just sit back behind this Candle. This is going to be a grindy match here. Land drops are actually pretty good here because they gain us a life and just cycle into another card. I assume the opponent's flooding a little bit. Alright, here comes the Glider, which our opponent seems to be forgetting about a good bit here. All right, Spore Crown Thallid, not too great. Let's see. If I attack with the Allosaurus, it costs me a mana. And they could just chump it. Well, they probably don't want to chump. They probably just take it, to be honest. I think I'm going to go Thallid plus Bodyguard here. And probably put the Bodyguard on the Allosaurus over, say, Tatiova. Tatiova's probably more important, but doesn't look like my opponent has a lot of removal as it is. So we're still just going to sit here for a little while. The Candle might get rid of Baird, to be honest. My opponent could be holding up one of those instant speed tricks, like make a Saproling or something like that. All right, Fungal Plots with not much going on there. Doesn't mean I can profitably trade off creatures. I think I'm going to go and start attacking here. So attack with the Allosaurus, pay 1, and just see what happens. All right, they just take it. Fine by me. Fungal Plots is another way to gain some life here if I trade off creatures or do anything. This way I get to keep up Adamant Will too. I don't know what my opponent has. Oh, Song of Freyalise. All right, that's actually going to be very, very strong here. Well, in a couple turns, so it probably is time to go ahead and candle something. No attack. What? My opponent's missed out on like 6 damage with this glider. And I don't have a creature to exile. All right, another white mana is not terrible. Or another Bodyguard's not terrible either. So I still think I want to be jamming with my Allosaurus. God, Vigilance, Indestructible, and 1/1 counters. So good. All right, so I think we're going to go ahead and jam with the Allosaurus again. I wish I had a way to get rid of the Song of Freyalise. All right, opponent just takes it again. Now we play Bodyguard. This will name Tatiova. And then I think what I'm going to do is get rid of my opponent's Baird on their turn and maybe go for like a charge turn. All right, this can pick up Skitter and Surveyor, I suppose, which doesn't really do too much from my perspective. So I think it's fine. Can't be the target of abilities your opponents control. So worth noting, I can't actually use Blood Tallow Candle on Shauna. Let's see, do you pick up your Surveyor? You can tap it for mana too, and then pick it up, replay it with its mana. If I kill Baird, can I actually kill my opponent next turn through 6 blockers? I might be able to. They are going to pick up the Surveyor. Or they're going to target. It is a May ability, so they don't have to. Alright, the Glider can't block either, so it finally gets in there. Alright, take it. You got to be very careful with this turn. Alright, so playing something else here. Oh, another Surveyor. Oh, and tapping a creature down for that's pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of Baird now. This should let me swing in, and it looks like I probably have enough with charge here. Charge plus Adamant Will. But we'll just make sure before my turn. Play the plains. And we want to do this before. This card is very impressive. This is another reason to go green-white. Like, it would be insane in our deck. The fact that it gives Vigilance and Indestructible, I mean, Trample aside there, just means that you can attack with everything, no fear. You're not going to lose any creatures, you're going to get in some damage, and you're still going to have all your blockers back. Alright, so let's see here. Play a land, draw a card. Good job, Tatiova. Shauna would be nice. Alright, so they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That means we're going to get in 5 guys, and they're all going to be at least. That's going to be minimum 10 power, so I think this just wins. I don't think there's any 1 mana white card that's going to stop me here. And they already have to make some pretty bad blocks as it is with these surveyors. Not really, but might be able to kill them without charge. Just use Adamant Will. Because this is going to get eaten for 5. I'm going to use charge like there. We're not at that point in the game, right? So they would lose Shauna. They would lose 2 Skitters. All right, let's just charge them here. Yep, that should do it. Nice. All right, so that was kind of a scary game. This card is brutal. But despite them having a very clutch card against us, we managed to build a big board. If they, I mean, they probably missed like 8 damage off of this. We still would have won. The 8 damage wouldn't have made a difference in the long run. Or maybe it would have. Maybe they would have been able to push in with something else in their hand. There were like 4 turns where they just didn't do anything. And I think Tatiova justified itself there. I'm not sure if it was right to grow from the ashes for just 1 land when I had kicker up. But being able to play Tatiova and immediately play a land afterwards is good value. So it was probably right to just kick it anyway. Anyway, see you all in match 2. All right, here we are for match 2 against Zenkai. They mulliganed, they kept on top. They're playing a black deck. I kind of like our odds against a black deck. Usually all the targeted removal. Ooh. The targeted removal is pretty good against, or pretty poor against these token makers. We get to go Migration into History into Wild Onslaught here. That's going to be sick. Grow from the Ashes, not bad. That does mean I can probably hold off on the Wild Onslaught. But we are going to cast this. And we're not kicking it. Next turn, play History of Benalia. Get that going. We have a game plan against blue-black specifically. Drudge Sentinel. Oh, I like my odds against a Drudge Sentinel. It's an annoying card to play against, but if they want to trade it for a Saproling, I'm all in for that. All right, let's see if this card is a bomb or not. Feels like what you get overall for it is quite good. Unfortunately, we don't have any other knights, really. I mean, we have the 3/1 knight, but sure. I mean, 3 mana for 2 2/2s with Vigilance is already good enough by itself, but then you get that little power bump at the end. Alright, well, not really attacking into Drudge Sentinel this turn, right? Which means we could probably go Grow from the Ashes now. We don't need to do that, do we? Or we could Wild Onslaught. They're probably going to block, activate. We get in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Put them down to 11, and then this goes off next turn. If they're using all their mana on Drudge Sentinel, I'm kind of okay with it. And if they just block and don't do anything else, and we trade just a knight for Drudge Sentinel, I think that's fine too. Like, if they block and then activate this, I'm just going to Wild Onslaught, because I assume they're going to block a knight. Looks like something else might be going on here. They are blue-black. They could just have, you know, removal spells. Alright, let's make this attack. Oh, I guess we don't. This doesn't have haste. It can't attack this turn. All right, I'll give them the opportunity to activate their skeleton here. Nice. So that means they did nothing with their mana. Could also Gift of Growth, but I think getting in the extra points of damage is nice. I really like this card. All right. So we save our guy, we waste our opponent's turn, and we get in 4 damage. Plus now our things are going to be huge. Oh, you're the mill deck. Top 2 cards. Boom, power boost. All right, so these are attacking as 5/4 vigilance creatures, which is pretty insane. They could trade skeleton for a sapling. And then I'm going to kick Grow from the Ashes here. Go get a blue and a white, I suppose. Sure. I'll deal 10 to my opponent here. Oh, they've got something. Blink of an eye and token. All right, this is a pretty good turn for them. I'm gonna lose these 2, get in 5 damage, and it'll be my sapling and my knight to their 1/3. Plus, I have the memorial here. It's not bad. They also didn't get to kick that blink of an eye, which I assume is what they wanted to do. Game's not over yet, though. Opponent has 3 cards in hand. They're blue-black, so if they have removal for the knight, this looks a little bit worse. We don't have a lot of lands left in our deck, to be honest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Tatyova would be an awesome draw here. All right, Soul Salvage back, just Drudge Skeleton. All right. Sapherd's not bad. I think I'm going to play out one more land, then I can go 1, 2, 3 and activate Memorial. And I can afford to attack with both here. Down to 6. I'm going to do, yeah, just do this. Hey, we're doing that thing. We're going wide. All right. So we didn't really see much against our opponent, and it's not like we have much to sideboard anyway, right? I guess Gaia's Protector is good against the 1/3, but not very good against the skeleton, so I don't really see a reason to bring this in. They have something like Blink of an Eye, which does make a couple of my cards a little bit worse because I have token makers, but Blink of an Eye on like a 1/1 Sapperling is not a big deal. Kind of like Nature's Spiral here. Just as an attrition card, it works very, very well with whatchamacallit, the saga, History of Benalia. It's actually not bad with the Allosaurus either, but we didn't see a lot of kill spells from them, which I assume they have them, right? They're going to have them. And I think we just submit as it is and see if we can roll it back again. Got to keep in mind our opponent Mulligan there, but they're playing a couple weaker cards too. The Mill Guy and the Drudge Skeleton are not premium cards. Blink of an Eye, however, is fantastic. Ooh. Well, we're definitely going to get to curve out here. And I am sorry for those of you who are watching because I can hear my voice starting to get a little crackly. It's probably been like that the whole video. Try to drink some water, trying to make it work. And a Cabal Evangel. They must have a really good like black or blue bomb that is justifying them playing some of these weaker cards. We're going to play Sapperling Migration. Actually, no, we're going to play it. And 3-drop. Ooh, Dreadshade. All right, that's pretty good. turn 3 Dreadshade too. So what do we do? I could go play Memorial, Fungal Plots, block, draw card, gain 2. Or I could just play out another creature. Probably best to just play out another creature here. And if they attack with Dreadshade, I'm not going to block it. Short Sword means that I can just equip up a Saproling. If they want to use a lot of their mana to... Wow, really? An unkicked Stronghold Confessor. Okay. Wow, I could definitely block. Although Dreadshade holds me back quite a bit, so I think what I'm going to do here is play that, equip to a Saproling, and play Fungal Plots. And then 2 turns from now, we can kick Sergeant at Arms. Excuse me. There's old Dredgerino. So now I can actually attack with my Sapherd this turn. They're missing their blue mana. Ooh, Aven Sentry is pretty good here. So we're going to go Short Sword on this thing. Attack for 3, and if they want to do any sort of double block or trade off the shade, then be my guest. I assume they're just going to take 3. And we go Sentry. And pass the turn. I really like this card. I don't think you have to be mono black for it to be that good. They're just not attacking, so I just get to free roll attacks into them. That's fine. Candle is going to probably do pretty good work here. I'm just going to kick Sergeant at Arms this turn. Could also attack for 4. But I don't think I need to do that. I'd rather just kick this thing. If they have a removal spell, then that's fine. And we still have a Candle, plus we have this Memorial and Fungal Plots to kind of draw more cards if things go poorly here. But our Go Wide deck's pretty good against their one big threat. It is kind of unfortunate they're not drawing anything at all. Like, they're hit 3 lands to our 6. Do we go Bodyguard here? I mean, I know for sure we equip. Just shorten the clock by a couple turns. Probably should have played Bodyguard before combat. I'm going to play it now, though. Name the flyer. I'll go ahead and play out the Candle. And then we will pass. This is a mess of the board, a board for the opponent to deal with. Their creatures do not stack up well. Dreadshade does not stack up well against a million tokens. See, this is the only thing holding them back, or holding me back from attacking into them, so they can't really put themselves in a position where they tap this. No land. Yep, opponent's just like, I got nothing going on. Probably a bunch of blue cards, but I mean, they had a turn 3 Dreadshade. That was kind of scary. And we took it over with just a bunch of tokens. But yeah, nice. The white decks keep getting us to the finals, so maybe we're doing something right. I mean, I'm not apologizing, but it is kind of funny that I've done 4. This is my 4th draft online, and I've just drafted every iteration of white. White red, white blue, white black, and white green. So maybe there's something there that I'm not thinking about. But yeah, I'll see you guys in match 3. For the finals, y'all, with what looks to be a pretty good hand. Not super good. It could use a 2-drop here, but having mana, having a 3-drop, having these 2 things to play out early seems decent, and we're on the play. We're against Zweel, and we unfortunately just had a very mana-screwed opponent in the last round, which is unfortunate, but it happens, right? All right. Facing down a green deck. Ooh. Do I want to play that, or do I want to play out one of these two? I'm probably just going to play the Migration here. Hopefully I can play this Allosaurus on turn 4. Y'all want to take a guess as to what their other color is? I'm guessing black. I'm so smart. Ooh, Skin Witch. Alright, Skin Witch is a good blocker against us. Ooh, Tatiova is going to be nice, maybe. Hopefully. And Skin Witch is going to hold us back here. It does mean I can equip Short Sword to this Sap Herd and attack. But the Saprolings are not getting in there. Not for a long while. We are going to need to draw a lot more land here to make this hand pretty good, too. We have our 2 functional removal spells in our hand. Although we draw a land, we're just going to run one of those out. Oh, they have a Short Sword of their own. That messes up my plan. Ooh, we did not draw a land either. That is not good for us. So we're probably going to play out all 3 of these things, I suppose. Could also just equip here. Something like Shauna would be really nice here. We haven't drawn that at all during this set. Or maybe we did at the very end of the first match. Baloth Gorger. It's pretty good. That is pretty good. Oh, that is not the color of mana we really needed, right? Green or blue is what we're looking for. Baloth Gorger is huge. So what we don't want to play against is low curve, huge creatures, right? Like Baloth Gorger. Mammoth Spider. Alright, come on, Allosaurus. Don't let us down. Ugh. That's actually one of the worst we could have drawn. Actually, that's probably the worst draw in our deck is Basic Plains. I can probably sack this Memorial since... Oh, no, I do want to keep it up for the candle. Geez, they've just got more monsters coming down. Dark Bargain. Alright, they're doing that at sorcery speed, I assume, to try and hit a land plus something else. And they pitched a Force to the Graveyard. It's possible if I draw another green source, I still just hold on to this Allosaurus. It's pretty good against them. If they equip like Short Sword on one of these big creatures, they can just start jamming. I have to lose a pretty significant amount of my board in order to trade off. Like I would lose all of these to take out the Mammoth Spider, I believe. 3, 4, 5, 6. Or I could trade these 3 and keep up 2 Saprolings. None of that's very good. Memorial to Folly is kind of annoying as well. This Allosaurus should be pretty decent, though. I'm not going to sack this Memorial yet because I do have a use for the extra mana with the candle plus this thing. Wild Onslaught's not a terrible draw here. Makes me more incentivized to sack the Memorial to Glory, but I don't think that's what I want to do. So we'll just keep playing it by what we've got going on. And apparently it's time to wake up again. It's like the 5th time my alarm's gone off. Not sure why it keeps going off. Another Mammoth Spider. Oh, God. Oh, God. What do we do? Now they should definitely start jamming, I think. No. What are they scared of? This draw has not worked out in our favor. Adamant Will does trade up nicely on one of these creatures, though. Which one, though? I mean, I'm kind of scared of their own Wild Onslaught. They have 4 cards in hand. We're doing nothing. Like, literally nothing. Short Sword to the Gorger. Alright. Gorger coming in. I am going to block and go for Adamant Will. So something like Vicious Offer gets me pretty good here. Well, they do have something. Could just be a pump spell of their own. Gift of Growth or something. Nope, it is a Vicious Offer, and so they're sacking that to get the Skin Witch. They kicked it, so there's no point sacking this. There's no point using Wild Onslaught. So yeah, that's just going to happen. So basically we trade. I mean, that's not terrible for us. We lose our Adamant Will. Yeah, it's not good for us either, if we're being honest. We traded 2 for 2 there. Ooh, you have a Thallid as well, huh? Oh god, why does everybody have that card? It's so good. It's just going to destroy us on its own. Ugh. Alright, that does mean that I have the Candle. I can kill one thing, and then if I draw a green source, maybe I can kill another thing. And then really minimize what Song of Freyalise is going to do here. They have this Memorial to Folly, too. Oh, Song of Freyalise is insane. I am going to Candle whatever attacks me here. What is this? 5? Before combat? Something coming. Windgrace Acolyte. Alright, well that's a beatable card. It's pretty good. Llanowar Envoy. Yeah, what I need to do here is Candle something and then Allosaurus another thing. And then minimize what Song of Freyalise is going to do. They're not going to be able to volley something back. If I don't draw a green source, I'm in a lot of trouble. Because everything's just going to be able to attack me. They're going to attack me for 12, 13, 14, 15 trample damage. And this gives up +1/+1 counter. This card is incredibly good. I think they're debating whether or not to move the short sword here. I'll see what the attacks look like first. I'm going to trade off as much as possible for their creatures, I think. The fact that this just gives trample, too, means that there's not a lot you can do about it. Alright, they played out the last card in their hand, too. So move in short sword. Oh, Memorial back Llanowar Envoy? That's weird. Oh, just getting another body on board. Sure. Alright, let's go ahead and take out the Gorger, I think. Yeah, they're just putting another body on board to maximize Song of Freyalise. Ooh, we did hit a green, so now what do we fight off? I think we just fight Envoy. The problem is these spiders are going to be big, but we also don't have an answer to this Acolyte. So what I might have to do is fight the Acolyte, block one of the spiders, just take a hit from a lot of other stuff this coming up turn, and then hopefully Allosaurus plus like Wild Onslaught is enough to keep us in the game. But we got lucky there hitting the forest when we did. Oh no, it costs green to kick. Alright, so we're just dead. I can play Wild Onslaught, I can't kick it. Yeah, we're just dead. Oh, I forgot that was double green plus another green to kick it. That's pretty gross. God, I wish we had some sort of removal spell for that stupid stuff. The Mammoth Spiders look actually not bad here. I don't think I want both of them. I don't think I want Partick Wanderer either, but having another big butt to block their big things is decent here. And just go down on a 2-drop or something like that. Here is where not having removal really hurts you. Might go down on like Knight of New Benalia or Benalish Honor Guard. Alright, let's try this again. Triple green. Got to keep that in mind. Alright, so here we have a Llanowar Elves hand with no white mana, and having only 7 white sources in the deck means that it's kind of sketchy. So currently I have a bunch of cards that don't do anything. I still think I'm going to keep it and just hope to get a little bit lucky. Hitting a white source would be very good. Hitting any sort of Saproling Makers would be nice too. Grow from the Ashes would be great because I could cast it on turn 2 and go fix my mana. I have 2 Grow from the Ashes in my deck, so we can see that happening. Of course, just naturally drawing a Plains here would be good. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Alright, so do I want to expose Shauna to... oh, actually, I can play... No, I can't play Shauna plus Bodyguard. If I play Shauna now and I expose it to Vicious Offering, is that fine? I think I'm going to play Shauna plus Short Sword. Now we just want to make token makers and hope that they don't have a way to kill Shauna. Which they don't, because they don't have black mana. Alright. Okay, so this can still be targeted by Dauntless Bodyguard. Probably just attack for 5 instead of playing Fungal Plots here. Fungal Plots isn't going to do anything for me at the current moment. Drawing any number of creatures would be fantastic. It's going to be a 3-drop. Oh, Skin Witch. Okay. Ooh, Adamant Will is nice backup. Nope, nope, don't auto-yield. Nope, I guess I auto-yielded, so we gave up playing the Fungal Plots there. I don't hate this position. Just anything to add to the board is nice, because it starts pumping Shauna. The Bodyguard protecting it is pretty sweet, too. And Adamant Will to protect it is pretty nice. So we're pretty all in on Shauna here. See if it can pull its weight. And the short sword actually pretty decent too. Does mean if they draw like their short sword and equip it, I can still attack through them. They could start picking off my smaller creatures if they have removal spells, and that'll shrink Shauna down. But all it takes here is like a memorial or I guess also if they kill my small creatures, I get to replace them too, which is pretty neat. Granted, I should probably have this Fungal Plots down, but I made a mistake. Gotta own up to it. Opponent definitely has some lines of play here that they're thinking about. And I would like to draw anything that's not land or History of Benalia, since I can't cast that. Preferably green cards so I can hold up Adamant Will. Alright, playing Song of Fraley, so that into another play. So they have 3 mana here. Alright, so they're planning out their next turn is what it looks like. Well, there's Grow from the Ashes, so I can kick that, go get white-green. Or blue-white, blue-white. Let's go and attack with Shauna here. I assume they're just taking it based on how they played last turn. Yeah, we'll get Island Plains. And pass. Alright, so now they have access to like 6 or 7 mana this turn. Ooh, please tap out for your own Allosaurus so I can Adamant Will. Alright, 7 mana it is. If they want to tap these down. They could just play a big monster here, like a Baloth Gorger. I guess that costs 8 with kicker. Although if Shauna dies, we're in a lot of trouble. Saprolling Migration would be pretty sweet. And they're going to get a hit on me next turn. Let's put +1/+1 counter, though. And they only have 1 black mana. Can they tap for any color? Yeah. So they're Birds of Paradise. Alright, let's see what happens here. It's going to be like Ancient Animus or something. And just another 2-drop creature. One is really planning this turn out. Man, I wish I had this in my deck. Oh, Sapherd. Alright, so they're going to be able to go wider than me. See if they play something else too. No, just the Sapherd, that's it. Creature? Ooh, we did draw Allosaurus. So if we play that and we fight, let's just say Sapherd, and we have a pretty good turn after that, they could have Vicious Offering up here, which would kill the Allosaurus in response. Could also just attack with Shauna, which I assume they block with this Thallid. I feel like they're... Well, they didn't have Vicious Offering before, right? Otherwise, cast it, right? Maybe I want to hold off, just use Fungal Plots and take the big hit, and then Allosaurus the turn after that. Just if I play Allosaurus into Vicious Offering, it's pretty bad. Although they might not have it, based on how they played the last couple turns. They also have 4 mana up, not just 2, so this is until their next turn, right? Yeah, it still says it on the cards. I think I'm going to go for the Allosaurus here. And if they have it, they have it, but based on how they played, something tells me they might not have it. If they do, it's not great for us. I'm going to go ahead and take out Sapherd here. That means if they want to use it in response, they have to actually kick it, not just cast it. And I don't want to kill this because it just leaves another body on the board for their Song of Freyalise to pick up. Well, they got something, don't they? They're thinking about it. And that's my turn. That's what I got. Might be right to just play Fungal Plots and hold up Adamant Will this turn, but I think based on how they play, well, they're doing something. All right, so yep, they do have a Vicious Offering, and they get rid of Shauna. All right. Jeez, that alarm though. And there's no way Dauntless Bodyguard could have saved her there. Adamant Will would have saved her. I could have also just played this and not done anything. I'm probably just blocking the 4/3 here. I don't want to die to like fungal infection though, so maybe I just block a 2/2 and take my infinite damage. It's actually 6. But I still think we're in a decent spot here. Risky play. We could have played around Vicious Offering by just playing Allosaurus. But I think what we did is fine. Drawing more lands is not where we want to be, though. So I think we're just going to equip. They can go block with like Spider plus Skin Witch here. No matter how they double block, Adamant Will lets me eat 2 creatures here. They could go like Death Bloom plus Mammoth Spider, or Death Bloom plus Skin Witch is enough. But clearing off any 2 creatures is fine, even if this one replaces itself with a 1/1. I get to play Fungal Plots and activate it this turn. Oh, that makes sense too. I'll go and save my thing. Alright, so my 6/6 to their board of creatures. Gift of Growth would be a nice draw here. Just keeping in mind that my opponent still has the Memorial here, plus 3 cards in hand, so 2 cards, I guess, now. I did not bring in Nature Spiral, so I don't have a way to get Shauna back, so I'm fine just sacrificing it to the Fungal Plots. And we're looking to draw action. Basically, that's it. Dark Bargain. It does deal 2 to him. That means that my Allosaurus is now lethal on them. They have to block it. This is actually not enough to kill it, is it? So they would have to go like, they would have to lose 2 creatures to the Allosaurus. Well, a Saproling plus one of their other creatures. And if we draw another pump spell or something that makes Saprolings and lets us draw into cards would be pretty nice too. Tatiova would be an okay draw, but not having lands in my hand makes it a little bit worse. Basically, we're looking to draw things that put stuff on the board, right? Can start jamming my other creatures too to turn them into Saprolings if that's what I really want to do. Not 100% sure that's what I want to do, but it is an option. Alright, so they ditched Windgrace Acolyte. It's kind of interesting. That one does gain them some life and put a actual threat on board, so they must have gotten 2 pretty decent cards there. Let's go ahead and say goodbye to Shauna. And pass. Ooh, Sapherd's a nice one. So I think I'm going to play Sapherd and immediately draw a card. That might be the right thing to do here. Does make my go wide strategy a little bit worse, but it also gains me some life and draws me a card. So what does this attack look like here? Maybe I don't do that. Maybe if I just attack with the Allosaurus, get rid of 2 creatures, set myself up for a big swing on the following turn. Because if the Allosaurus dies, I don't have much going on. I think I'm going to do this. Sack, sack. Ooh, charge is nice. That means I can actually save my Allosaurus here, right? They would have to triple block 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in order to kill the Allosaurus. Charge would bump it up to 7. Charge looking a little bit worse now that I sacrificed 2 creatures, but I am going to get my Charger while my opponent decides how they're blocking. All right, what's the verdict? Chump. All right, I'm kind of cool with that, actually. They might just have a removal spell for this Allosaurus now, because they did Dark Bargain. We're facing down 3 new cards from the opponent, basically. Ooh, Baloth Gorger, but not kicked. Excuse me. Memorial's not terrible here with charge. Alright, so now they can go like block, block. Am I okay trading the Allosaurus for just one of these? My other option is to wait on this and then hope to charge him out. Or if I attack with everything this turn, I only need to get 2 creatures through. They could go block, 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 eat 2 of my guys, let Allosaurus just hit them. Or, I'm sorry, block Allosaurus and then block 2 of my other creatures. That's the worst case scenario for me. They could also have another Vicious Offering in their hand. If I can get 2 creatures through, then I do just win on the spot, right? With charge, assuming they have nothing in their hand. Yeah, because I have 2 power guys. If I swing Allosaurus, only Allosaurus, it just trades for something. I think it might be right to go for the all-in attack here and see if charge gets them. I still think they're probably incentivized to double block the Allosaurus. Maybe not, though. The thing is, if they had blocked my other creatures, my Allosaurus is going to eat whatever blocks that. So it could go Skin Witch in front of this. These 2 block here and here. And that's not great for me, actually. Which means I probably should have moved the short sword to, like, Land War Elves. The extra point of damage could matter. I'm going to go for it. If this is how they block. Vicious Offering, I think, is the only thing that gets him out of this block. Granted, it would be pretty good. Block the Sap Herd instead. Or are they just deciding... this looks like they definitely want to do this. They're just deciding which creature would they rather me leave on board. If this goes wrong, I would rather get rid of the Spider than the Baloth, I think. So, let's do that. And that's all I got. Let's see if it works. I have fungal plots too, in case this goes really badly. I get to turn these into a little bit of extra value. But they do have 3 cards in hand. Another Vicious Offering would stop this from being lethal. And, I mean, they're thinking about something, so they might have it. That would leave me with just Llanowar Elves to Skin Witch plus whatchamacallit. Oh, they do have it. They're deciding whether to kick or not? There's no reason to kick, right? Yeah, they have another Vicious Offering in hand. Gross. So I put them down to 3. I'm down to just Llanowar Elves now. Well, why did Sap Herd survive? Oh, because of charge. Right, I didn't think about that, actually. Kind of relevant. Did I skip the rest of my turn? Did I F6 through that? Yeah, I guess I did. That's fine. Well, they had another one. And now... well, I'm not in a great spot. Ooh, just crack Memorial, please. Oh, no! That card's so good. Alright, let's just go and do this now. I need them to kind of not have anything there. I still think it was right to go for it last turn. Still doing fine. I have this Memorial. I can probably... 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. This is going to be lethal. None of their creatures have reach. So they're going to need another removal spell here. If I equip and I attack all in this turn, that's not great. Could go for fungal plots on the Saprolings, but I think I'm just going to hold that back for now. And I don't have enough to Memorial here, so What I am going to do is just play out Aven Sentry, and I'm going to put Short Sword on Aven Sentry. That way, if they draw Vicious Offer in or they have another one, they have to kick it. This doesn't leave me enough to... Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was bad. I forgot I had Land of Wharfs to tap for mana. I probably should have kept up Memorial to Glory instead of equipping that Short Sword. But let's see what the opponent can do. They're going to need another removal spell or one of their Mammoth Spiders to deal with this Sentry here. This has been a pretty good match. I think our opponent's deck is a little bit better than ours because they do have the removal spells. They got card draw. They've got big butts against our little creatures. Alright, we don't get the Desperation all-in attack here, so seems like my opponent might have something coming up. Not a spider, not a spider. Windgrace Acolytes. Alright, that's going to gain him 3 and also give him a blocker for this Sentry. Staying in it, opponent. Staying in it. They milled Memorial to Folly, Spore Crown, and a Swamp. Alright, give me something. Blood Tallow Candle. That's something. So, play the candle, get rid of Acolyte right away. If I get rid of, say, this thing, attack all in, that's still pretty bad. So let's just make them have something again. And put them down to 2 this time. If I attack with the other creatures, they get to eat 3 of mine. They go down to 1. So that's not enough. So yeah, just go and sit back. I have Fungal Plots to gain me a little bit of life here, so I'm just going to make them have another answer to this Aven Sentry. Whether it's another flyer or a removal spell. They could just be cracking Memorial here. That's what I want to see, is them just crack Memorial. Our Adventurous Impulse is decent too. Digs 3 down for a creature. Or a land, I suppose. Mostly a creature. Seen 2 Windgrace Acolytes out of them. They found a Land of War Envoy, so that's not going to do much. Jeez. Alright, they have a spider. Is this Kavu coming in? I think I just take it here. Dauntless Bodyguard. So what does that do for me? I could draw a card right now and see if I find a way to get rid of the spider, which I don't really have. Alternatively, if I equip to a 1/1 and attack with everything, they block 1, 2, 3, 4. I put them down to 1 that way. I think it's probably best to go Bodyguard on Sentry, and crack Memorial, and hope to just put too many boards on, or too many creatures on board for them to deal with. Yeah, let's go and put that here. Yep, I think I'm just going to pass here. Crack Memorial on end of turn. They're going to have at least 5 blockers because we know about this Envoy. I'd say it's a pretty good bet that they're sitting on at least 1 land given how much of their library is in their graveyard at the moment and how few lands they actually have. Could just die to this Kavu out of nowhere too. My opponent has been ripping answers though. Acolyte into Mammoth Spider. Pretty good. Alright, show me the Envoy. Alright. This I am okay with. They still have 2 cards in hand I don't know about. And Soul Salvage. Alright, so I think that's going to be enough if I crack my Memorial. Just attack with everything. They can't block everything. I don't think they even want to attack with this Kavu now. Tapping down their creatures doesn't matter because it's just getting rid of one attacker for one blocker. This has been a ridiculous game compared to the last two. This is what, game 2? I have 10 minutes, 11 minutes for game 3. Guess my opponent's on 5.5, but they've had a lot more decisions than I have, I would say, with cards like Dark Bargain and whether to use Vicious Offering or not, whether to kick it or not. Their deck is great. Untamed Kavu is extremely powerful. Very scary card against me. A deck that doesn't have a lot of good ways to get rid of it. Even my Allosaurus isn't that good against it since it just dies. Not sure what the opponent's thinking about right now. They know I have the Memorial. It's possible they're just being a butt and seeing if like they wait long enough if I'll just F6 and not crack my Memorial. But I don't know. I'm not getting that impression really. All right. Just not mess up this turn. Attack with everything. GG, go to game 3. I think my opponent with as little time as they have should probably concede at this point, but all right. So, Academy Journey Mage doesn't even seem terrible here. I kind of like the Mammoth Spiders, like I said. Nature Spiral is okay. And I'm not really digging too much else here. The 7/6 could be good. It does punch through their big creatures, right? It also blocks their creatures well. It doesn't die to a kicked Vicious Offering. Might not be what I want for this deck, though, having only 16 lands. So I think what I'm going to do is just run this back. Don't really care for Gaia's Protector here. The Academy Journey Mage is really the only thing I'm actually considering. And let's see what we got. Ooh. This is close to being good, but it's not going to cut it with the deck that I have. Llanowar Elves plus Forest. Is that enough? Let's see. If I put a land on top, that's actually okay with Grow from the Ashes. But we could lose the Mana Screw here. Alright. Still going to give myself the option to play a turn 3 Grow from the Ashes rather than a turn 2 Knight of New Benalia. They just Vicious Offering this? No, Skin Witch. Okay. So, yeah. Here I go again on my own. No. So I can go Grow from the Ashes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next turn I can go Fungal Plots plus Knight. Is it important to get Grow from the Ashes down right now? Since I hit land drops? Maybe not. So let's actually cast Fungal Plots. I would ideally like to kick this if I can. Alright, more threats coming down. Llanowar Envoy's pretty good. Wild Onslaught's also decent. Grow from the Ashes does mean I can cast Mammoth Spider next turn. Knight of New Benalia means that I'm not taking 3 this turn. And if I trade it off, I can Fungal Plots it away. Yeah, I kind of like this. And we'll just go and pass. Looking to trade Knight of New Benalia for Llanowar Envoy. Skin Witch can get in there too. No attack. That's interesting. Alright, now I go Grow from the Ashes. And go get a white source. Or I guess I should go get blue just in case. They saw Adamant Will last game, so they might play around it. Kind of interesting that they didn't attack last turn. Spore Swarm. That's pretty darn good against me right now. Oh, I was stupid. That was dumb. I should have tapped Memorial. Oh, and Song of Freyalise. Oh, they're just going to have it. They're just going to have everything this game. That's not cool. So they probably don't attack now. Okay. Well, this is going to be an uphill battle. I'm probably going to play Mammoth Spider on my turn. They're not attacking. I feel better about the way I tap, but that doesn't make it correct. I should have kept green wide open so I could potentially trade this off, which I would probably do for a 1/1, just because Song of Freyalise is that good. Oh, whatever creature they put in their hand, too, they're going to be able to cast it because all these tap for mana. Oh, no, and a Skin Witch? No, they only need double black. Alright, so we're going to lose... Ooh. Yeah, we're just going to lose. That pretty much summarizes it. Alright, so kick that. I will discard Wild Onslaught plus Grow from the Ashes. Could discard Mammoth Spider. Nah. Mammoth Spider's my only line of defense here against this ridiculous curve out. Candle doesn't quite do it, does it? Alright, we're just going to die this game. We're in a very bad spot. What do we need to draw? I don't even know. But Song of Freyalise is going to get such a huge hit in, and these things are all going to have 1/1 counters when it's done. I hate that this gives Indestructible as an uncommon, too. The fact that it makes it so your opponent can't profitably block at all. Like, can't clear anything out of the way, and then they all just become bigger on the following turn. Here comes a Windgrace Acolyte. Oh, something even bigger. Ugh, a Gorger? A kicked Gorger? Man, my opponent's draw has been ridiculous. Well, that's fine. Oh, they're vicious. Oh, Wild Onslaught? Oh my god, are you kidding me? How do you get the perfect draw? All these tokens are going to be 4/4s? Are we just dead this turn? I think we are. I think we're actually literally dead this turn. Because I block here, block here, block here, take all this trample damage. Yeah, that was insane. And I can't eat any creature. I mean, they're indestructible, so I wouldn't be able to do it anyway. Jeez, my opponent's draw has just been absurdly good. Alright, they definitely got it. They just need to attack. And they have vigilance, so just hypothetically, like, this is, if I do that, I take 24. If I, just block, I still put 2 of it, I take 22. So I'm actually just dead on board. And a good game to the opponent. That was great. Kind of impressed, actually. So we did not get to the finals of this. Or we got to the finals, but we got crushed by this ridiculousness. I didn't get to see what my opponent said. But, all right. Well, we did not actually win that one, which is a little unfortunate. But I don't know any deck that was going to win against what my opponent just did there. So, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the draft as always, even through my scraggly little voice. And hopefully next time we draft something that's not a white deck, because we've already knocked out all the white decks. But I liked our deck. I think it did not draw particularly well, and the mana was not great, not having removal also. So definitely not the best deck I've drafted, but I think it came together and we got rewarded for being in the archetype we were in. So with all that being said, thanks again to all my new subscribers and old subscribers. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe as always, and tell people about Mana Rock so we can get some notoriety, I guess. I don't know. Do whatever you want. But anyway, see y'all next time for more Dominaria. My name's Timothy. Thanks for watching.